nothing here that no houses, no
Okay, so I had this revelation about my work recently, and Coffin in Egypt really sort of falls in this category, as does 27, which is that um, originally when I was writing music for the music theater, it was because I thought the music theater was going in a certain direction, and it would be a direction that would absorb the sounds I was writing. But the music theater went in a different direction, and I really entered the opera world. First of all, of course, I always wanted to write opera, but in a way, I felt like it was in the opera world where I could really do what I do, which in some ways is a kind of hybrid work, you know, and especially something like Coffin in Egypt is really hybrid. I mean, first of all, every musical scene in some ways is constructed like a song, and then you have all the spirituals, which are sort of my version of spirituals. I mean, Lenny wrote the words, but they're my version of spirituals, but obviously they require a kind of operatic singing, and they get complex harmonically, but it definitely feels like I have found my niche, but it's sort of a hybrid niche, and I think that's why sometimes I feel not completely misunderstood, but sometimes I feel somewhat misunderstood because I feel like it's too musical theater sometimes for classical critics, and it's too classical for musical theater people, but I feel mostly like none of that matters, and I just have to keep doing what I do because it's what I do and it's what I want to do. You know, it's it's where I wanted to go, and then I wanted to create a kind of musical theater that was reminiscent of everything I loved growing up, including foreign films, including the operas of Menotti and Alban Berg and Kurt Weill and Stephen Sondheim. I definitely feel like what I'm doing, Coffin in Egypt included, is sort of an expression of aesthetic that I feel on some level I'm just sort of making up as I go along.
open prayer.